Dude, it is hot in here. What's that all about? Oh, I see. I guess it's time for another top 10 strongest. I guess you guys finally chose the fire typing, and it seems this list is going to be pretty flames. This list was put together with tons of stuff taken into account, with a little extra focus put on the competitive aspect of things. I feel that these fire types we have here today represent some of the best of the typing, and I really hope you guys see that. There is an absolutely large pool of Pokemon to choose from here, so understand that there will even be some good Pokemon that don't make the list at all. Alright. Let us go headfirst into the flames and see if we can figure out just what the best of this typing is. Also throughout this video, I want you guys to think about what you wish to see as the next typing we do a top 10 for. Alright, so we're going to start off with a Ghost Fire Pokemon. And no, it's unfortunately not Alolan Marowak. While it's a Pokemon that was good enough to rank in the top 10 strings of the Ghost types, it just got outclassed by a much larger typing being spoken about. The Ghost Fire type I'm talking about here at number 10 is actually Chandelor, whom I left off of the aforementioned Ghost type top 10. Chandelor is a fantastic fire type Pokemon out of Unova that boosts one of the highest special attack stats you'll ever see on a normal Pokemon at base 145. Now to be fair, that's really all there is to Chandelor, as it has very respectable 90 base defenses, but no sort of HP bulk and a bit lackluster speed at base 80. Its duo of abilities are Flash Fire and Flame Body, which are very on par with being a fire type. Though, I'm never a huge fan of ghost type abilities that are activated by being hit with a contact move, so I'm not all that sold on Flame Body. If only Chandelor had some kind of ability that was a big step up. Actually, no, come to think of it, it actually does with its hidden ability, Infiltrator. Infiltrator is an ability which allows its attacks to hit a Pokemon that is hiding behind a substitute, and also has its moves unaffected by screens like Reflect. An ability like Infiltrator really does put Chandelor ahead of many other fire types, as it will allow to really bring the hurt no matter what a Pokemon does, as long as it isn't using Protect. It's got a pretty nice move pool too, with moves like Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, Psychic, and Energy Ball, really showing how much variety it has. It can defend itself against any weakness it has, except for dark types, and I feel that's really worth showing it respect for. Chandelor is a very deserving Pokemon to open things up with, and it sets the tone for the rest of this list. So how about we keep it in Unova, and we talk about the one and only blazing Pokemon, Darmantan. Now, Darmantan has become a definite monster in the Pokemon world with its Galarian form, one which we talked about a while back in our top 10 strongest ice types video. However, while its Galarian form is a very top tier Pokemon, regular Darmantan doesn't exactly live up to the potential of its alternate form. That being said, however, it still is a rather solid Pokemon. If Chandelor is seen as being the big-time special attacking option in Unova for fire types, then Darmantan was definitely the physical option. It's got base 140 attack, and that's backed up by 105 base HP and 95 base speed. Now the main issue with Darmantan is that despite that great HP bulk, it has no defenses. Both of the stats sit at base 55, so it's not going to be able to take hits super well at all. Basically, you'll need to work with that speed and attack to just make sure you always have a shot at one-hitting the opponent. Sheer Force is a great ability that helps with that though, and as you guys know, is a very fantastic ability. Though, there's another option when it comes to Darmantan. If you're down for it, instead of running a Sheer Force Darmantan, you can instead choose to go for a Zen mode one. Once Darmantan goes beneath half of its total HP, it'll transform into the Zen mode, and with that transformation, it'll see some major stat changes. Its speed and attack will go down drastically, but now it'll have 105 base defenses and 140 base special attack. And suddenly now, you've got yourself a bulky special attacker that will be able to make use of arguably better moves than regular Darmantan can. See, a big problem for Darmantan is that the overall best move it gets access to is Flare Blitz, and that causes it a lot of problems since it's a move that takes away a third of its HP and recoil. When it is in Zen mode, it'll be able to use moves like Fire Blast and Flamethrower, which, while not as strong as Flare Blitz, will be much better options, as special type moves actually don't hurt Zen mode Darmantan. The only true drawback here is that it needs to remain under half health to stay in Zen mode, and it's never a good time having to constantly keep your Pokemon one critical hit from being knocked out. Regardless though, the 9th spot on this list is very fitting for a Pokemon like Darmantan. We've already spoken about one fire ghost type, so how about we talk about another one? The Ultra Beast Blcephalon was introduced in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and quite frankly, was actually one of the more interesting Ultra Beasts in typing and design. It has no bulk to it, but man does it have a great set of attack stats and speed. Those attack stats are 127 on the physical end, and a dominant 151 for the special side. The speed's also 107, which is a rather nice addition to those attack stats, but man does it majorly lack on the defensive side. Like I said, it has no bulk, and 53 base HP and defense, along with 79 base special defense, pretty much confirms that. At the very least, it does have Beast Boost, which will undoubtedly make its special attack go up even more with every Pokemon it manages to knock out. Its moves are pretty awesome too, with the most interesting being its signature move, Mind Blown. So essentially, the move causes Blcephalon to take 50% of its max HP as damage, but this move is going to have 225 base power thanks to Stab, and that results in absolutely outstanding damage with the high special attack stat that Blcephalon has. There are other moves in its pool like Calm Mind, which sets you up to be even more threatening, and of course the usual great moves like Shadow Ball and Shadow Claw. When it comes to fire type moves alongside Mind Blown, it's able to take advantage of Fire Blast and Flamethrower, but there isn't a physical option for it. I guess the odds of running anything on this Pokemon aside from special type moves probably isn't really something someone would think to do anyway though. Blcephalon is the best fire type Ultra Beast, and is definitely deserving of being called one of the best fire type Pokemon. So next up, we have the first of a few starter Pokemon that will be checking in on this list, and it's the fire type from Sinnoh, the much respected Infernape. It is the best starter available in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, and quite frankly, it's one of the best starter options, period. Infernape has got 104 base attack and special attack, and 108 base speed, and it really does prove with those stats that something almost basic can still be incredibly special. Infernape is incredibly balanced, with its HP being at 76 and defenses at 71 each. Well, thanks to the great speed and attack, it can work right around its poor bulk. Let's not forget about the very solid hidden ability that Infernape has as well, Iron Fist. It increases the power of punching moves by 20%, and Infernape has access to several, like Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, Mach Punch, and of course Power Up Punch. It's almost a shame it doesn't have access to Drain Punch, because if it did, it might have earned itself a higher spot on this list. It's got access to other fantastic moves though, like Close Combat, Earthquake, and Rock Slide. There is just such a wide move pool here, and Infernape is able to take advantage of it in a number of different ways. I'd go as far to say the number one thing that Infernape has working against it is its poor defenses, and if it didn't have the issues it does, it would have easily been in the top 5. Unfortunately, however, the weaknesses it has and the poor bulk just force it to sit behind a couple Pokemon. I'm really curious though to see how well Infernape would have been able to do if it were in Pokemon Sword and Shield. You know, we've got ourselves yet another Unova Pokemon here, and I'm beginning to realize that perhaps the 5th generation was actually a pretty great one for Fire-type Pokemon. We're here to talk about Volcarona, and it isn't even the last one we're going to be talking about in this video that hails from that region. Anyway, Volcarona is an absolutely tremendous Pokemon, and from it onward, we'll be talking about some elite level Pokemon. Volcarona packs a beautiful 135 base special attack with 105 special defense and 100 speed, and that makes it perfect that upon evolving into Volcarona, it gets access to the move Quiver Dance. Quiver Dance gives it a 1-stage boost in both special stats and speeds, so it will thrive when set up. Really, Quiver Dance is just one aspect of a thriving relationship between its two typings of Bug and Fire. It has Flame Body as an ability, and considering the fact that it has just base 65 defense, it actually has a purpose, as Volcarona will need to deal with taking physical contact moves somewhat often. Its other ability, Swarm, will help its moves like Bug Buzz get even stronger when it's near being defeated. Volcarona gets access to more moves beyond just Quiver Dance and Bug Buzz, including Fiery Dance, which has a 50% chance of boosting its special attack by a stage. As you can tell, when it comes to this one, setup is the name of the game, and it is capable of becoming a sweep candidate during any matchup as long as something like Stealth Rocks are dealt with prior to it coming out in the field. It's capable of using Heat Wave and Flamethrower as well, and perhaps even more interesting, the incredibly powerful Hurricane is a move in its arsenal. Volcarona is a Pokemon full of power, potential, and possibilities, and where it really flounders is just in the physical department. It's got poor attack and defense, and not too much bulk with base 85 HP. However, it's only got 3 weaknesses and plenty of resistances with its typing, and also a reliable way to get health back with Roost. So really, it's still a tremendous Pokemon. Like I mentioned at the start, Volcarona is the beginning of a stretch of really tremendous fire types, and when we get to the bug list, you should expect to see it incredibly high. Alright, I don't want to stay on this for too long. You guys already knew it would be here. And at number 5, we have Charizard. Charizard has 2 Mega Evolutions, both of them being pretty interesting, and a Gigantamax form that has a great G-Max move. Mega Charizard Y has got base 159 special attack, and a nice 115 special defense with 100 base speed. If you can get past some Stealth Rocks and the 4 times weakness to rock types, Charizard Y has a shot at being the best Pokemon on the field in any battle it partakes in with that Drought ability. Now Mega Charizard X is a great mix attacking option that has nice speed as well and some good physical defense. Its ability is Tough Claws, and it doesn't end up needing to worry about rock type moves as much as the Y form or regular Charizard does. There's a real myriad of moves that Charizard gets, from Hurricane to Outrage to Flamethrower to Earthquake. You're able to do just about anything you want with the Charizard. However, I don't want to bore you anymore with this though. You knew it was going to wind up being here, and it opens up our top 5. Alright, so why don't we keep talking about starter Pokemon? This next one got its bump in the Isle of Armor DLC, and it honestly could have been higher, and maybe one day will. But for now, coming in at number 4 is Cinderace. It's not just the best starter in Galar, it's also the best fire-type Pokemon in the region. Cinderace is a speedy beast, with base 119 speed, and that is actually the highest base total of any starter Pokemon. If its speed wasn't enough though to put it over the top, it also has base 116 attack, and that is an absolutely great complement to the speed. Now, Cinderace isn't particularly the most bulky Pokemon out there, with just 80 base HP and 75 in both of its defenses, but I think the important thing here to realize is that Cinderace is part of a small pool of starter Pokemon that abandoned the need to have such balanced stats. Yeah, I recognize that it has the same defense stats on both ends, but man, that over-the-top attack speed combo sticks out big time. I don't want to forget the brand new Gigantamax form that Cinderace got, with the great G-Max Fireball, which will hit the opponent no matter what it's done or what its ability is. It's very strong too, at 160 base power, regardless of the fire move that it chooses in battle. Its signature move is really awesome too, with base 120 power and a 10% chance to burn the opponent. Really, Cinderace has plenty of great fire-type moves to get the most out of its stab with. If only it had more than just that typing though. Oh well, I guess it's... Oh. Duh, I forgot it has Libero. Yeah, the hidden ability Libero, which is just Protean, but with a different name. That means any move that it uses, its typing will change to it. That means U-Turn is stab, Zen Headbutt is stab, Gunk Shot is stab, Iron Head is stab, and even High Jump Kick. Cinderace is part of this elite group of fire types, and while it is behind 3 other Pokemon, it's got as much of an argument that can be made for it to be at number 1 as any of the others. Alright, so coming in next is our 4th and final Unova Pokemon, the one that adorns the box of Pokemon Black, Rushram. It's crazy to think almost half of this list is composed of 5th generation Pokemon, but I guess if there is any one thing that this generation got right, it's most certainly fire types. Rushram also happens to be the first legendary Pokemon we're talking about, so that just goes to show that the fire typing has a lot more going on for it than just some legendaries. Rushram has great stats, 150 special attack and 120 special defense, really serving as highlights. It's also got plenty of bulk and a great ability in Turbo Blaze that sort of acts like a version of Mold Breaker. When you take a Pokemon of such great bulk and incredible offensive stats, and then you throw in that ability and a wide move pool, you've got the makings of something absolutely special. Now, I know, it's fairly easy to say that about a legendary Pokemon, but honestly, Rushram makes such great use of that move pool. For one, it's got Blue Flare, which is a great fire-type stab move that only really lacks in the accuracy category. It's also got access to Draco Meteor too, which will slam anything but fairy types pretty hard, thanks to that great special attack stat. There are other moves too, like Psychic, Shadow Ball, Earth Power, and Focus Blast, which aren't stabbed of course, but are fantastic coverage options. The options on it are spread all over the place, from running one with Roost and Life Orb to just acting as a specially defensive wall with Leftovers. leftovers. But the one thing is true. It isn't the best fire-type legendary, but it is one of the best fire types, period. Speaking of the best fire-type legendary, why don't we talk about them? When I think of legendary Pokemon that are extremely well known and famous for many reasons in the franchise, and to outside fans who aren't as into the series as I am, or many of you watching, I think of Mewtwo, Lugia, and one more Pokemon, and that is the one sitting in our penultimate spot for this list. Ho-Oh is an absolute beast of a turkey bird, or more so a phoenix, and it has been a real threat throughout its whole time in the Pokemon metagame, especially now. It makes use of its brilliant ability Regenerator and its obnoxious 154 special defense. You want to talk about bulk? Well, look no further than Ho-Oh and that special defense, on top of its base 106 HP. It's not just a massively bulky Pokemon though. It's also got base 90 respectable speed, alongside 110 special attack. That means you can make a choice when it comes to Ho-Oh about how it is used. The thing about Ho-Oh is that a lot of its greatness just speaks for itself. It gets to use moves like Brave Bird, Sacred Fire, Fire Blast, while also having a variety of TMs it can learn, like Earthquake, Thunderbolt, and Psychic. There's just so much going on here that it simultaneously feels like there's a ton to talk about, while also being such a clear-cut truth that I don't really have to go any further here. Ho-Oh is amazing, and it should be in the #1 spot. As a matter of fact, it's a shame that it isn't, but unfortunately, that times for weakness to rock types, and the way it gets completely rocked out by Stealth Rocks, just kills it as an option here. Though, that weakness to Stealth Rocks will be very well gone when Ho-Oh comes to Sword and Shield and gets access to heavy-duty boots. It's just that only one Pokemon was truly able to deny Ho-Oh that top spot, and I'm sure you guys will understand why if you haven't already figured out which Pokemon it is. Alright, that's it. We've reached the #1 spot on this list, and it goes none other than to Blaziken. Blaziken is the best starter Pokemon of all time, even now. Blaziken's hidden ability is Speed Boost, which is downright arguably the best ability in Pokemon. Its attack stat is at base 120, and once it Mega Evolves, that balloons to base 160. Even with just base 90 speed prior to Mega Evolving and 100 afterward, its Speed Boost will quickly turn into the fastest thing on the field. All the while rolling moves like Flare Blitz, Sky Uppercut, and High Jump Kick, which will quickly destroy most Pokemon they hit. I'm not going to drag this out anymore. Blaziken, hand in hand with its Mega, outclasses every other fire type as of right now. And all I gotta say is this: it was banned. You guys already know this is deserving, but if you want to argue Ho-Oh, I guess I can understand. Well, I guess that's going to do it for another top 10. There are lots of discussions that could come from this top 5, and I look forward to seeing the conversation in the comments. Just keep it civil, especially you Charizard fans. That's not up to me though, as you guys are going to have to let me know down below in the comments which typing you want to see next. I'll be checking them out relatively often. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream all sorts of games from Pokemon to Fire Emblem to Zelda and much more. I also have an anime channel called MysticSage where I do anime reviews, rankings, and countdowns, so if you're interested in that kind of content, go ahead and check that out as well. If you want to support me even further and gain cool perks, check out my Patreon. These lovely people have all given me their support over there, and I couldn't be more grateful to them. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mystic Umbreon, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.